Good evening and happy Monday. I am down 3 pounds, 271, 269 now. So I'm very, very happy about that. Um, so today I wanted to talk about how do you go whole food plant-based? Making a lifestyle change can be a big deal, especially when it comes to food. We have so much in our refrigerators. We want to be able to eat right, and, the other factors to consider are who do you live with? Do they want to go whole food plant based? Is it just going to be you alone? Is it going to be a family affair? For me, my husband's not going whole food plant based. That's great. Not a problem. That means that I have to make sure I'm looking at what I'm doing, where I'm putting my food. Um, and the other thing is, he's very, very supportive of this. He's helped me out a lot, um, from learning about different things that I can buy to make stuff taste better. I've never bought miso until he bought it for me to be able to put into miso soup. I never thought I could actually make that at home. Like I said before, I'm not the greatest cook in the world, but I'm learning. The first decision you really have to make, after you make the decision to go whole food plant based, is do you go to cold turkey or do you go one day at a time? There have been people that have recommended we'll start with the one day at a time. Maybe you start with just the first week. First week, you just change up your breakfast. You learn how to cook tofu and hash browns because tofu can actually taste pretty great. You get some black salt. It has a little bit of a sulfury smell, so it tastes like eggs. I'll actually be doing a video on that because I love it. I love it. It gives me the egginess that I'm desiring without actually having to eat the eggs. You go gradually. You can do it one type of meal at a time. Once you get more recipes for breakfast, then maybe you move to breakfast and lunch, and then you move breakfast, lunch, and dinner. As you're doing that, you stop buying the meat for yourself. If your, loved ones are still eating meat, obviously that's still going to be in the house. Some people propose that you need to have a clean house. And while I can see how that would help, I'm also not a type of person that's going to tell somebody, you have to do what I'm doing because, it must be done this way. And not everybody says it to their spouses that way, but he needs to do what he's going to be happy with. My husband, I like him happy. I like him content. And he has basically said, I'm not going to be happy if I'm eating whole food plant based, and that's fine. It's his life, and I'm going to support him in that just as he is actually supporting me in this. It's pretty great. Um, as you're going with the one meal at a time, you start slowly buying what you need for each meal. So you want to start with the staples. You can slowly start stocking up on maybe a 25-pound bag of rice. I've got 25-pound bags of rice. My favorite is Botan. It's a small white. I know that the brown rice is better for you, but I like white rice. I do have brown rice too. Um, Go get your tofu. Go get if you want to have miso, masa flour so that you can make corn tortillas, pasta, noodles. Pasta and noodles are the same thing, but still, you got me. Pasta, lentils, get a big bulk bag of beans, black beans, kidney beans, whatever it is that you like. Learn how to cook those up in a pressure cooker. Or if you just want to go with canned, go with canned. It's wonderful. I don't know how much people cook with spices at home. Everybody differs a little bit, but start with the basic spices you've already got because you're already using them for your regular cooking. And then move into getting other types of spices to learn how to really add that flavor to your food. I love spicy food. I love herbs in my food. I just, I want to taste. I don't want it to be bland. And people think, oh, if you're going to eat, broccoli and carrots, it's going to be bland. No, you spice it up. You put herbs in it. Same thing with meat, I could say. If you just eat a plain piece of meat off of the grill, yeah, you're going to have some of that smoky flavor, but no, just about anyone I know, none of them eat steak without salt, pepper, onion, garlic powder, the whole 9 yards on it. They want to be able to taste. Taste comes mostly from the herbs. Yes, the meat adds its meaty flavor, but if you don't have those herbs, it's just a bland old piece of meat. Same with vegetables. Vegetables taste so much better if you just spend a little time on them. Monetarily, for me, meat is expensive, and I don't mind not having to buy meat. I can go get a big old 25-pound bag of rice for 18 bucks, and that's going to last me for months. Same with beans. Get some bulk beans, it's going to last you for months. And then you can, get the little bit more expensive fresh vegetables. Buy frozen. It doesn't have to be organic. Organic is nice. I understand why people want to eat organic. I like to get organic myself sometimes, but it's also more expensive. There's no problem just going to the grocery store and buying what you can afford. That is a big key to this, because anytime you change your diet, it always seems like it's more expensive at the beginning. Let's just kind of drop that. Let's understand that you're replacing an expensive cut of meat with a big old bag of rice, or a big old bag of beans, or lentils, or potatoes. Potatoes are not that expensive. It's really, really nice to be able to realize I can buy a 5-pound bag of potatoes, and if I wanted to have potatoes every day, it'll last me for a week or a week and a half. I don't eat potatoes every day, but I do love them. um, Eat through some of the food you've got. If you don't want to feel like you're wasting money, it's okay to eat through some of that food. I know that if you're going for vegan for ethical reasons, you're not going to want to. Maybe you throw that meat out and give it away to, or give it away to friends. It's up to you. I can't make that call for you. I don't have to make that decision. My husband's going to eat it. It'll be good to go. Um, Learn, and I know I said this a little bit before, but slowly start collecting recipes for different meals. There's some wonderful breakfast muffins that you can make up that are vegan, that are low fat. They're going to be good for you to be able to grab and go. I don't eat breakfast in the morning. It's too heavy on my stomach for my delivery job. So when I get to, the station, I'm moving big boxes and stuff, and I don't want to have to worry about my stomach cramping up because I'm full of food. So I wait until after sort to eat. But I want to be able to have something right after sort. So having some muffins to go, it's a lifesaver. Because otherwise, I drive by the gas stations because this is what I'm used to doing, and I go in and I go get one of those breakfast sandwiches. That is a big, big no-no, obviously. Eggs, fat, cheese. Oh my gosh, all the good stuff in life, bacon. I have to let that go. So if I bring a little bit of breakfast, bring my lunch, then I'm not tempted to go into the gas stations and buy more food, because it's just habit at this point, and it's a habit that I have got to break. Part of going whole food plant-based is just breaking habits. So for staples, what do we talk about? Obviously, we talked about rice a lot, potatoes, noodles, vegetable broth. Whether it's the broth, the stock, or just better than bouillon in those jars. Better than bouillon has salt in it. If you're trying to avoid salt, you might not want to get it, but I love having better than bouillon in the refrigerator as a vegetable stock that I can just get out and put into water if I need to, because I don't always keep broth on hand. So it makes it really, really convenient just to have a jar that's going to last for a long time. Buy bulk canned. It's all good. I mean, it's going to be in your house. You'll have it. It's not going to be in temptation to say, well, I don't have any food, so I might as well just call Pizza Hut and have them delivered. Soy sauce is another bulk item that is wonderful to have. I put soy sauce in spaghetti sauce, just to be honest. That little bit of umami that's in there, that flavor boost. Oh, good stuff. Okay, so talked a little bit about the gradually. Take it a meal at a time. Take it, your breakfasts, then your lunches, then your dinners. And if you want to go opposite, go opposite. This is your journey and you get to go have fun on it. So learn what it is that you like to cook. Get yourself a 3-ring binder. Start throwing those recipes in there. Mark on the recipes what you did. What spices did you change? What herbs did you put in? Did you have to add more broth to maybe thin out the dressing? Or the gravy, dressing, gravy, they're all the same thing. What did you do? How did you make it so that it tasted better to you? Because if taste as you go, then you learn what it is you like. You learn how these things come together. You get to, be more hands-on. How much salt? Little salt? Too much salt? I put too much salt in so often. So just take your time with it. Or you can go cold turkey. You go through your refrigerator, your pantry, you get rid of the animal products, you get rid of the fats and the oils. And again, if you have a spouse, don't throw out their meat. If they don't want to change, they don't want to change. But maybe you have a separate shelf in the fridge and say, okay, all of my stuff's going to be up here. Your stuff's going to be down there. We can keep it separated. That way I can find what I'm looking for. My husband's a very big meat and potatoes guy. That's what he wants. And so like all the Asian stuff that I get or the Mexican, he's like, it's just not my thing. He'll eat it once in a while, but he likes what he likes and that's what he's going to do. So we've got our shelves. I know it sounds like a roommate situation, but honestly, it works out really, really well. I can find what I'm looking for. He can find what he's looking for. There's a lot of respect for both of us that goes into that. Being able to have our spaces for our stuff. It just makes it easier. And if you go cold turkey, when my parents did this, they went whole food plant-based for over the course of, I think it was about 2 weeks. They started changing up their meals, so there was a bit of gradual buildup. But then there was definitely that time where I came over and they're like, do you want this? Do you want that? We've got these sausages that we don't want anymore. We've got the Crisco we don't want anymore. And they had gone through their whole entire kitchen and they just got rid of everything that they didn't want. They didn't throw it away. They gave it to other people. We took some of it home. It worked out very well for us at that point because I wasn't whole food plant-based at the moment. And it worked out well for my parents because they didn't feel like they were just throwing money down the drain. They gave us food anyway every once in a while. You know how parents work. They're wonderful people. And the initial startup can be, again, going cold turkey, can be a little bit more expensive. It might feel that way. But again, you're balancing it out because you are getting rid of so much that you're not going to be buying anymore. You're not going to be buying, as I said, the Crisco or the turkey or the steaks or, the chicken for $15 a pound. It seems like nowadays everything is whoop through the roof. At least they're coming back down a little bit. I have cookbooks that I love to go through and look at and get ideas from. There are a ton of vegan cookbooks out there. And in future episodes, I'll be going through some of the recipes that I've really enjoyed. Some of them you don't want to do all the time because it's a lot of work. Those ones that are a lot of work, they can turn out to be so good because it's like going out to dinner. There's also some really easy recipes. Carrot dogs. I would have never thought that carrot dogs were pretty easy, but it smells like hot dog. Doesn't have the fat. It tastes a little bit like carrots, but you know what? Carrots on a hot dog bun with sauerkraut and a little bit of mustard, I'm good with it. It tastes really good to me. I'm a little bit of a weirdo, so that's all right. If you don't like carrot dogs or if you've never tried them, you might think weird, but it's good. It replaces that item with something that's healthy. That hot dog with a healthy carrot that actually tastes very close to a hot dog. Again, still a little bit of a carrot taste. Not gonna lie to you, but I don't mind that. I've eaten them for a long time. I like making them. I'll batch cook those too and throw them in the freezer. And then if we go camping or something, I get to grab up my carrot dogs and we're good to go. Watch YouTube. There are so many different YouTubers that are out there. There's Chef AJ. There's the Plant Strong podcast with Rip Esselstyn. I'm trying to think of other ones. PCRM with Dr. Neil Barnard. They've got people that come on there and cook. PCRM is a lot of fun. It's very educational. And that leads me into the next part. I know that personally, I am an impressionable person. That means like if I watch something long enough, I'm like, well, no, okay, I need to try this. I need to go do that because it starts to sit in my head. So fish tanks, that guy right there. That's for watching MD Fish um, on YouTube. I love him. I get a kick out of it. I like having my shrimp tank right there right beside my desk, and I can sit and enjoy watching my little blue dream shrimp swim around. So look for community. And that's what I want to build here. I want to build a place where we can all come together, support each other, not feel like we're all alone in this. I've got my parents. That's wonderful. I've got my husband who's incredibly supportive. I've got some friends that I've told about this. But, for accountability reasons and for community reasons, watch some YouTube people. You won't feel like you're alone. You'll be listening to people who have the same some of the same ideas. I might not be on the complete ethical side of veganism, and I'm okay with that. I don't mind other people eating meat. I'm just glad that I'm not adding to animals that go through really, really bad situations when they're put down. I'll leave it at that. It just, I feel better not eating animals. But again, I'm not so far on the ethical side that I hate it when other people eat animals. I mean, everybody has to make their own choices in life. I am not your mama, and I never will be. So I would have loved to have had kids, but I got married late in life. No kids. That's all right. You guys get to put up with me now. Okay. So take what you love to make and turn it into um, a vegan meal. You can take spaghetti, as I've shown in, I'll be putting a batch cooking spaghetti post up. And do it with vegetables. There is a plant based substitute called Gardein is the company. Um, I believe it's Vital Wheat gluten that they did, and you can use that for the meat instead. It's low in fat. It tastes pretty great, especially if you season it. It's all about the seasoning. That makes everything just taste so much better. There's an Irish stew recipe that my parents make that is to die for. You would think you would miss the meat, but you don't. They make it so well with the right oh, I love their Irish stew. Um, Everybody usually cooks with 10 to 20 standard recipes. You have your unique ones that you do once in a while if you're doing a celebration. But there's usually in rotation for most family households. They've said between 10 to 20 recipes that are, you know, put on the rotation. And because it's nice to be able to cook something that you don't have to look at a recipe for. So when you can get to the point with certain recipes that you're like, okay, I got this, that's when you know things are working really well. um it makes it so much better to get some recipes under your belt, things that you know that you can go home and say, all right, I'm going to make um vegan caviar, black beans from a can, rinse them off, corn, salsa, mix it all together, maybe some onion. And then you got your masa chips, and you can actually sit down and just eat that. I mean, beans full of wonderful protein, salsa, Mexican. Oh, I'm good. Sign me up. A little bit of vinegar in there just to give it some tartness, brighten it up. Yeah. Yeah. It's those simple recipes that can make a huge difference. All right. Number 5. So that was number 4 was basically collecting recipes and learning how to cook. I have to learn how to cook. I can, like I said, I can do some of the very basics, but I'm just not good enough yet. And I'm having a lot of fun finally learning how to cook. I just never was interested before. You go to a restaurant or you go get some takeout, go home, sit in front of the TV, eat. And in my case, just get a little bit bigger every year. All right. There will be days that you do want to go out to eat. And I'll admit that going out to eat is hard. There are a certain amount of restaurants here in my city that I can go to and have a meal and know that I'm not going to be getting the oils, and I can ask for no cheese, and they'll respect that. And that's really, really nice. Um, there's a place up in Duluth called the Smokehouse. That's not the full name. The full name is Northern Water Smokehouse, I think is what it is. And they smoke salmon and whitefish, and they do a wonderful job with it. And they also make sandwiches. But the cool thing is, when we went to visit Duluth and we went to the smokehouse, they had a vegan roll. Oh my goodness, that vegan spring roll lives and looms large in my imagination. So I've learned how to smoke tofu. My husband has a smoker. And while it's not to their standard yet, the Duluth people standard, oh my goodness, it makes a really, really good sandwich with some coleslaw and yeah, yeah, it's good stuff. Pickles on there, maybe a I know aioli, a vegan aioli. Oh my goodness. I've got to stop talking about that sandwich because it's making my mouth water. Be kind to yourself. There are going to be days where you make mistakes. There are going to be moments where you have that craving that is just way too powerful, and you don't feel like you can beat it at that moment. Maybe take a drink of water. They say that helps with cravings. Um, Maybe you go buy yourself an apple. Keep apples and bananas on hand. They really, really do help. And in fact, when I'm done with the sort in the morning, I'll go buy, or I'll bring with me really, bananas to have afterwards. Know what your triggers are. My triggers are walking into grocery stores and gas stations, because that's where I deliver to a lot, and wanting to go buy food. Those are triggers. Candy, chocolate, yes, please. So I have to learn how to navigate those waters. But again, be kind to yourself. Be honest with yourself about what you're doing. Sometimes I have to sit and have a little bit of a chat with myself about the fact that if I really want to lose weight, then I've got to step up my game. And that's what this video is for. That's what coming to you and talking to you guys about that helps sink it into my head. And again, watching other people on YouTube, to keep that mindset, to know that they am that I am impressionable, that it will make me stay focused. And that's the big word. Maybe that's the better word, not necessarily impressionable. It helps me keep focus. Reading books. I've got one right here that I have not read yet, and it's backwards in the video, but it's The Power Food Diet by Dr. Neil Barnard. I'll be going through this book and maybe even select a recipe or two out of here to show you guys what's in here, so that, it helps me stay focused. It helps me keep moving forward. Being able to go have a meal with my parents, it's wonderful. It helps me keep focused, stay forward, because they are the goal that I'm shooting for. But there will be days. And when you do cave, if you have that moment that you're just like, all right, I need an emotional support day, so I'm going to go have a chocolate bar. That's me. Yeah, it happens. And yes, it's okay. And yes, you can have that one chocolate bar and then not have it for the next 4 months. It's doable. Be kind to yourself, be honest with yourself, and find out what your triggers are. Those are huge to be able to do. And find out what good food you like. Tom yum soup. Oh, that's another one that I absolutely love. I have found tom yum soup paste, and I make it here at home. Then I don't have to worry about going to pick it up at a restaurant and it's made from beef broth there. I don't want the beef broth. I want the fat-free stuff. So I make it at home. And on the days that it's actually really, really easy to make too. It's like you get the paste, put it whatever amount you want in the pot to the right taste. You put in some mushroom and onion, um, bean sprouts, whatever it is that you want, watercress. I do Brussels sprouts because I love Brussels sprouts and it tastes so good in there. Sometimes put tomato in there. You just let that boil for a little bit. Everything gets soft and oh, ready to go. Have your rice ready. Put the rice in at the end. You've got your soup, your tom yum soup. And again, my mouth is watering. I must be hungry. I'm having spaghetti tonight for dinner because I batch cooked it last night. um, find people who are going to encourage you. That is huge. You're not in this alone. I'm here, you know, message me on here. I'll try to respond to everybody and let's talk. Let's create a community where we've got each other's backs. The good days, the bad days, the in-betweens, we need each other for that. So again, find community, read books. For the people that are on medication and they don't know how whole food plant-based diet will affect their medication, find yourself a plant-based doctor or talk to your doctor and see if they're up for it, if they have any knowledge about it. Some doctors are getting more educated and it's wonderful to be able to go in and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. And they can say, well, let me help you. Let's navigate the medicine together so that we can start cutting down on it, because I don't want you to get hurt. I'm not a doctor. I can't help with that. But um, just for one group in particular, I already mentioned them, PCRM, Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, Neil Barnard's group. They have whole food plant-based doctors, so you can call them and you can, become one of their patients. They'll help. You're not alone. And anytime you make a big life change, because whole food plant-based is a lifestyle change. It's not just a diet. It's not something that you do for a little bit, because speaking from experience, when I've done it in the past, I felt great. I lost weight. Not all of it, because I didn't stay there long enough, but I was moving in the right direction. The moment I stopped, I started gaining the weight back and I started feeling sluggish and miserable again. So to wrap it up, find community, make small changes, make big changes, but whatever you do, make sure you have people around you who are telling you that you can. And I'm one of them. You can do this. I know I can do this. Let's do it together. And for veggie's sake, eat more veggies.